Hey guys, excuse the wet hair. It's been sort of a low productivity morning so far. Just how it goes. So I have alluded to this a few times, but I want to give a more complete sort of work-life update. If you haven't been following us for a while, the arrangement that we have had since Alice has been born, she's now 13 months. I worked full-time before she was born. We both did. And after Alice was born, I took about a 2-month maternity leave completely. Mike took a month, and then I went back part-time, and I worked 2 mornings a week for 3.5 hours apiece. And during that time, this first year, Mike has been staying home with Alice and working from home. As you can imagine, his productivity during those mornings is also pretty low, but he's been able to kind of just maintain where he's needed to be and put in extra hours later in the day and on weekends here and there. So our goal for this arrangement was to make it work for 6 months to save on like childcare costs and also the logistics, because we are a 1-car family. So when one person goes to work, the other person does not have a vehicle, or it takes a little bit more shuffling. So our goal was to make that work for 6 months, and we actually made it work for an entire year. I'm really proud of that. It was just really good for both of us to be able to spend so much time one-on-one with her. I think especially for Mike, because there aren't many dads that get that, just time to get to know her on his own and figure out what works for them, and yeah, just have that experience of, being the primary parent a little bit. So I'm really happy that we've been able to work it out as a team, and just really happy we've gotten to the point that we have. At this point, it has gone on for too long in terms of Mike's stress level. He works like a 40-hour-a-week salaried job, and so he's not able to put in, say, that extra 8 hours a week that he's here with Alice. He has to stay late most days, and he works just about every weekend. And it's just gotten to the point where his stress is too high because he just doesn't feel like he has enough time to get done the things that he needs to get done. And it also really cuts into our family time. It's really important for me for all of us to eat dinner together every night, and for us to have weekend downtime to not only get things done around the house together and, sort of attend to things that we need to do, but also just to have downtime and just be able to hang out and relax and go for a hike and just have fun. I think that's really important too. So in order to keep a good balance between our work and family life, the decision we have come to is that we are going to put Alice in part-time daycare starting later this month. Like I said, it is just part-time when I go to work those 2 mornings a week. Mike will continue to go, his 5 days a week, and hopefully that'll mean that he does not need to work weekends anymore. I think over the next year there could be some changes at my job, but for right now I feel it's important to maintain the relationship that I have with my boss and, just keep working the schedule that I am in case I need to add hours. My boss is really flexible, and I'm able to do a lot of work from home and sort of makes a little extra money that way too. So we've decided that at this point that this is our best option. I'm a little bit sad about just making the change and, the thought of her sort of having a life outside of us, but it's going to happen sooner or later, and I'm really just trying to focus on the positives. In terms of childcare options, this really, really is a good one. The main benefits are that, number one, this is a small home-based daycare. There are only 5 kids, and it is run by our neighbor who lives directly across the street from us. She has had this daycare for 17 years. She has a really strong reputation. Logistically, it's awesome because we will literally just walk her across the street in the morning and go to work. We don't have to add in an extra stop or work out anything with the driving. We already know their family. Some of the kids that are in the daycare already, we know their families. They also live in the neighborhood. Alice's personality so far seems to be pretty socially oriented. More so than my personality, for sure. And something I've struggled with in sort of being a semi-stay-at-home mom is that, especially since we don't have a way to get around during the day when Mike is at work, we don't usually have a car, it's been difficult for me to provide any kind of regular social interactions with the same kids on a regular basis. We don't have a ton of friends that have kids, and most of them work during the week full time. So we generally see, our friends and their kids on the weekends, but during the week, Alice and I are sort of isolated here. We do get out a lot in our neighborhood, but what I've noticed over this year is just that there isn't a consistent group of kids that are at the local playground when we're there. There aren't a consistent group of kids that are at the library when we go there. So I would really like Alice to begin to build relationships and just learn how to get along better with kids, especially in these toddler years. I think it's really important to start learning sharing and just playing with other kids. I think it should boost her language skills. In the future, that's stuff that you can get from siblings, and hopefully Alice will have siblings, but at this point, it's just pretty much her and me, and Mike and I would really like her to get a little bit more of that exposure. Another big plus is that the daycare is bilingual. We live on the border, and it's important for us also for her to start to learn Spanish. I do speak Spanish with her at home, but I'm not a native speaker, and the neighbor that runs the daycare is a native Spanish speaker. All of the kids over there are also bilingual. Just to get that early exposure and that ear for a second language, I think will be only beneficial. And lastly, another big plus at this point is that our neighbor is willing to try cloth diapers. Cloth diapering is extremely rare where we live, so even to have her, give it a try is huge. So fingers crossed that it'll work for her, and we'll be able to just keep our current system. I have one concern, and that is that they don't do morning naps. So right now Alice is still taking a morning and an afternoon nap on most days. Usually her morning nap is around an hour, around 10 o'clock. So we'll just see how it goes. Luckily, I've gotten some feedback from other YouTube moms with kids in similar sort of situations, and it seems like kids at this age are pretty adaptable. I have high hopes that she will be able to sort of push on through and not nap the 2 days that she's over there, but then when she's home with me the other 3 days of the week, she'll go back to her normal schedule. She'll be able to sort of do both because it'll be a different enough of an environment that she'll recognize, just having a little bit different routine. This is not a permanent arrangement. As always, we're just gonna reassess every so often, especially in the first month. I'm just gonna see how Alice does. If she doesn't seem like she can handle the nap situation or anything else about the arrangement, we'll make a change. And we'll keep working to find, the solution that's gonna be best for her and for our whole family. So I hope that explains a little bit more about what our plans are. Please wish us luck later this month. It's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking during the adjustment period, but we really do feel like this could be a very positive thing for Alice and for all of us. I know there are a lot of people out there who have very strong opinions about not using daycare, and you're entitled to your opinion. I hope that you can recognize and respect that every family has different circumstances. We can't know each other's experiences completely, and I hope that you're just able to be respectful of our choice. If you have any tips for me in making this transition, please share them, and I'll keep you guys posted on how it's going for her. Thanks for watching.